Hey, all my worthy viewers and Fleming Film Show fanatics. It's me, JD, your review master, and this is the Fleming Film Show with your host, Rob Fleming.
Hello, everybody. We are doing film debuts, directorial debuts. There are so many to pick from. To so many iconic movies have been the director's first film. It's not for Nolan or Kubrick, sadly. Their first films aren't great, but I can name loads of directorial debuts that are masterpieces. Can you, Justin?
So many, and some that I had to keep off of my list, some that I wanted on my list, but we unfortunately Jurassic Park was not the directorial debut of Steven Spielberg, so I didn't have him on my list, unfortunately. But I do have five greats on my list, and some we have talked about before, some we haven't talked about before. So I'm definitely eager to talk movies. This is for me not really being into directors and talking about directors too much. This was a fun one for me, as was the female directors ones, because it's like you don't normally always get to talk about these directors all the time. So I know on these directorial debuts there will be some familiar names, but for the most part, we don't really get to talk about them. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. I bet Cody would like this episode.
Yeah, yeah. Cody's into the directors, and yeah, even one that I've done a crossover episode with Cody on his on the Video Store Rejects, or what's is it podcast called Video Store Rejects?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, yeah. On Video Store Rejects, we talked Wes Anderson movies, and maybe a Wes Anderson directorial debut may end up on my list. We shall see. But yeah, I'm very excited to talk.
Perfect. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So, this person may have come up recently on a recent list that we did. I might talk about this movie and this person too much, but I just can't get enough. And from last year, this movie that came out in 2020, in a year of movies that we just couldn't see, and we did get to see some. This movie was a little diamond in the rough, and it's directed by Regina King, and it's One Night in Miami as my number five. Uh, we're gonna have to ban this movie from me picking on fives, but I just think it's such a smart directorial debut from Regina King. As I said in the previous video here, it's just directing. It's just directing. It doesn't matter if it's male, female. It's just a great director. And a great directorial debut. I mean, one that I'm definitely going to be talking about. And to go from being an Academy Award-winning actress to go into being, a movie that is nominated for an Oscar is really, really impressive. And I think that she did a really good job. And with females not getting the same sort of opportunities that males get, and a black female at that, to get the opportunity to make a movie at this scale with this amount of great actors, and to elevate the movie into something that could have been just whatever and really was something special. So my number five, and I won't put this movie on my list again, is One Night in Miami and Regina King.
I like One Night in Miami, so it's not banned. I need to rewatch it actually.
Yeah, I want to rewatch it again too. But even just being able to know it on for the first view, and still have it be such so imprinted into my heart, my brain, is pretty damn good. So, what's your number five?
My number five is a debut movie from one of my favourite directors of all time. Sure, it's kind of drifted from my top uh, three of his movies in recent years, but I still appreciate this movie. I still think it's a clever film in terms of writing. And for a low budget movie, it's really impressive with its visuals, and it's got some really good scenes in it. and a phenomenal, iconic cast that you can't replace, and it's Reservoir Dogs. I don't feel like I get to talk about Tarantino films much on this. I am a huge fan. We love Tarantino films here at Robbie's Reviews, and you just can't get enough of Reservoir Dogs. Sure, Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, and Glorious Bastards are his top three, in my opinion. Sorry, Justin, I know you love Hollywood, but to me, I just think they're his top three. But Reservoir Dogs is still impressive for a debut film, and that's why it's my number 5.
He is he's a master at what he does, and to have just a small window of movies and to have them all be significant in the film lore and history is pretty darn good. And to start it off with a movie like that, and for people to be like, what did I see? What did I watch? Well, what kind of movie was that? Did I get it? Did I understand it? And then it kind of just becomes, like a cult classic, and then becomes like an actual classic itself. And then, yeah, to have him even go on to direct the other, 8 movies that he did, and to have them all be, critically acclaimed in one way or another is a great way to start his career off with Reservoir Dogs. So
It's
that's
a great move for him.
yeah, really, really good. That's a smart pick, and I bet he would be on a lot of other people's lists as well, maybe even higher.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that prefer Reservoir Dogs out of all his movies.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, in sort of solidarity with Mr. Quentin Tarantino, I will talk about a director who probably doesn't get a lot of praise like he should. His movies aren't for everybody, but when they are for you, you know it. Oh, but when they are for you, you know it. And his a lot of his movies are for me because I love action and I love seeing some sexy ladies in some movies. Maybe even some like Selma Hayek. But the first movie that this director did was a movie called El Mariachi, and it's Robert Rodriguez. El Mariachi is a international film. It is a movie that was yeah, I mean, you only know it if you know Robert Rodriguez and you follow his sort of lineage of films. But this was his first film. It's about a guitar player, and he's also kind of a badass. This is a movie that was sort of a passion project for Robert Rodriguez. He just knew that he needed to make this movie, so it's really, really low budget, and it really shows. But his directing and his love and passion for movies really shows in this movie. And it's then a franchise. It actually became a movie. So the budget was only $7,000, and it ended up grossing $2 million. So that's damn good. But this became a franchise because it's part of Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He also directs Machete and Planet Terror, which is part of the Grindhouse with Quentin Tarantino. He also did Sin City and Natural Born Killers. I think
Yeah,
he was the
no, that
producer,
was Oliver Stone.
or he may be a producer of it then, but he was involved in it. He
Yeah,
likes that sort of stuff. But yeah, El Mariachi started it all, and it's a small movie that really made a huge impact for him. So El Mariachi and Robert Rodriguez is my number 4.
good choice. Good choice. Really good choice. I need to see that trilogy. I love Robert Rodriguez. I love Spy Kids quite a lot.
Yes, let's not forget the entire rest of his filmography that he ended up, you know, just blowing up. He has Spy Kids money. He doesn't have the El Mariachi money. That's the money that he has is all from Spy Kids. But
He doesn't have a liter Battle Angel money. I don't know how he got a budget that big.
I love Atlanta Battle Angel.
I do too.
Yeah, He's it's just like a fun movie for me. But yeah, he also Alita Battle Angel looks like it was one of his last films that he directed. But I love From Dusk Till Dawn, Machete Kills. He did Sin City, Spy Kids 2, Spy Kids 3. He did a segment in Four Rooms, which I loved a
We need
lot.
a whole episode devoted to him one day.
Ooh, that'd be good. Yeah. All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is a movie that me and you have reviewed together in the past. It's by Alessandro Inarritu and it's Amos Peros. A movie, an anthology movie with 3 stories that all link together through a car crash. Now, if you're a dog lover like Justin here, you might find some dog fighting scenes uncomfortable. But if you strip that and focus on the story itself, it is a phenomenal story with some beautiful visuals, some brilliant music, some deep meaning to it, and let's not forget the dogs are pretty cute.
This movie opens with a bang and ends with a bang, and everything in between is a bang. It is a damn good directorial debut movie. Also, it's one of his best in his entire filmography. So it's one that sometimes your debut movie isn't what you're known for. Like Robert Rodriguez is not known for El Mariachi. He's known for From Dusk Till Dawn and The Planet Terror, Spy Kids, like we talked about. But yeah, nobody talks about El Mariachi much. So this is sort of the same thing. It's like they're still known for their best ones. It's actually kind of like Quentin Tarantino. He's still known for Reservoir Dogs. So it's great that their debut still lingers on. It doesn't get swept under the rug.
Definitely. And we're on your top 3 now, aren't we?
Yes. Number 3 here. So, this director doesn't have a lot of credits. And the ones that they do have before this first directorial debut were all from TV. There is a movie that this person directed after their directorial debut that I loved a lot. That movie is called Three Men and a Little Lady. But right after that, they directed Sister Act. But before all of that, the directorial debut was Dirty Dancing. And this director is Emile Ardolino. And he directed Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze, which
Great
is
movie.
a fantastic film. This is a movie that I had only seen because I'm a movie lover, and my mom. I always sat down with what if my mom was watching a movie, I'd sit down and watch it with her. If my dad was watching a movie, I'd sit down and watch with him. I didn't care what type of movie it was. It didn't matter. I sat down and I watched it, and this was a movie that my mom watched, and I just fell in love with it because of the music, because of the dancing, because of the charisma with Patrick Swayze, because of how sexy it is with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. It just really hits home, and I've watched it as an adult. This is a movie that I watch tons and tons of times. I love the music. I can listen to the soundtrack, and it just makes me really miss Patrick Swayze. But I love Dirty Dancing. It is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's not a movie that is going to be up for best picture or whatever, but it's a movie that is about a love and a summer love, and we all kind of have been there, and so it feels good to live that. I can talk all day about Dirty Dancing. I carried a watermelon, and of course nobody puts baby in the corner. So my number 3 is Emile Aldolino with Dirty Dancing.
You ready for my number 3? Because I think this is a movie I should be banned from talking about.
Let's hear
Promising Young Woman.
it. Yeah, I mean we both have our our favies. So tell us all about Promising Young Woman.
Well, as I said, it came out on LTV in April in the UK, and I've been in love with it ever since. I showed it to my ex-girlfriend. I showed it to my mates. They all love it too. Been recommending it to other people. They seem to like it as well, and I just think this is a good movie, a good debut film from Emerald Fennell, and I hope that she makes another good film next time.
Yeah, and we talk about Regina King being a part of a movie that was nominated for an Oscar, but talk about a movie that was nominated for Best Picture Oscar, for won an Oscar for original screenplay, won or nominated for Best Actress. Like this is
And
this
bearing
is
in mind she's an actress in The Crown, that helps
oh,
as well.
Emerald
Fennell.
Fennell. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. But so her debut film, it was nominated for Best Picture and won Oscar. Like that is amazing. That never happens. Debut film. Um,
and the performances she just got out of that cast.
yeah, it is unbelievable. Yeah, she's gonna be one of our great directors. She'll be one that we talk about for years and
She'll
years
be
to
one
come.
we put on the Mount Rushmore of female directors.
Yeah, yeah. One day she will be there, but she's already there. She's already a great step. You
Definitely.
didn't.
I'm ready for your silver.
Okay, my silver. This movie came out in 1994. It is a movie that I just can watch over and 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 over again. It's a comedy. It is starring one of my favorite actors of all time.
Jim Carrey.
Stars Jim Carrey. Also stars Jeff Daniels and Lauren Holly. It is directed by
Peter and
Peter and Bobby Farrelly, the
that's it.
Farrelly brothers. This is my second favorite directorial debut, and it's Dumb and Dumber, starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. This movie is friggin' hilarious. It does hold up. I watch it all day, every day. It's just so much fun. It's like one of those movies that you just kind of wish that you can go and just do whatever they do and did. Like they find money that they get to throw around and play with, and they get dolled up and ride on a moped and chase a girl. It's like all stuff that I want to do. So it's just some of those movies out there that make you want to do it. This makes me want to do it. The beginning is just so great with him in the limo, and then the whole dog van, and then the Farrelly brothers go on to direct such amazing films together. You know, Me, Myself, and Irene is one of my favorite comedies of all time, and they directed that. Plus, There's Something About Mary. Plus, Green Book is also the Peter Farrelly movie that won Best Picture.
Yep.
But yeah, their filmography is just a long list of great, great movies. I mean, we don't have to talk about the Three Stooges, but we can talk about Kingpin and Something About Mary, Shallow Hal, Stuck on You. Um, yeah, I mean, I love the Farrelly brothers, and to have Dumb and Dumber be your debut, and then to follow it up with a couple of uh,
Classics.
yeah, really good movies like Something About Mary, and then Me, Myself, and Irene is just so. Fairley Brothers and Dumb and Dumber is my number two.
Yeah, I love Dumb and Dumber. I love Jim Carrey. I'm going to do a top 10 list for him in January. I just need to see Man on the Moon and I can start working on it.
Oh, I love Man on the Moon.
Yeah. You ready for my number two?
Let's hear it.
My number two is the director of this film. Sadly, isn't with us anymore, but he is an underrated director, and to have this game-changing coming-of-age drama that's really touchy, that feels unique and feels powerful. To have this as your first movie and be the age of 24 and be the youngest director to be nominated for an Oscar is more achievements than anybody. The director is the late great John Singleton, and the movie is Boys in the Hood.
Dang. Good one. Wow, wow, wow. I
I
love
wa-
Boys in the
I watched this movie a couple of years ago for the first time. I've seen it again since when I did a review for it last year. And every time I watch this movie, it is absolutely amazing because you see, obviously, Ice Cube and Cubican Jr., and there's the two little boys. Cubican Jr. grows up to be the nice boy, and Ice Cube grows up to be the thug, and it shows their relationship. And obviously, poor Ricky Baker, and obviously what happens to him kind of like sets their paths off. And obviously, you got Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett, and a woman who is on your list is in this movie. Regina King.
Is it Regina King?
Yeah, Regina King.
Yeah. Yeah, I also love that movie a lot. I thought about that as being on my list. It's really really good. That's a really good choice, and I love again that we're doing this list because it's something that we don't get to talk about much. So that's a very very good choice. Really good movie. It's heartbreaking and really good acting.
Lawrence Fishburne is phenomenal in that movie.
Yes. Okay, you ready for number one?
Yes, what's your number one?
And maybe the most on the nose number one. You probably already know what it is, but this movie won Best Picture in 1990. It beat out The Goodfellas, and it's Dances with Wolves that is directed by Kevin Costner. And for your directorial debut to win Best Picture, how can it not be on my number one? Dances with Wolves is a fantastic film, and Kevin Costner directed it, and it came out to a Best Picture win. So I had to put it on there. I love this movie. It's a slow burn. It may feel like homework, but once you're diving into that homework, you're like, let me learn more, I want to know more, and it just pays off so well. This movie is it's brilliant. You get to see Kevin Costner pretty much at his peak. This is acting peak, directing peak, producing peak.
Definitely his best performance as well.
Absolutely, and to carry this movie to be in every freaking scene of this movie, and to have it be as perfect as it is, I had to put it on my number one.
Yeah.
So Kevin Costner and Dances with Wolves is my number one.
Yeah, you recommended me this film and it completely changed my mind on Kevin Costner. He can be good when he wants to be.
Absolutely, and he wanted to be good in this movie.
Right, you ready for my number one?
Let's hear it. Who gets the gold?
My number one is a movie that came out in 2017. This film elevated the career of Daniel Kaluuya, and even though this movie is technically a horror movie, this is directed by a really great comedian. Jordan Peele's Get Out is my number one.
Smart, smart, smart.
This movie really showed me how creative you can be with a horror movie. I think Jordan Peele, his comedy is great. I love him and Keegan Michael Key. They are a perfect duo. But when he directs a horror movie like this, it's just perfect from beginning, middle, and end. Even though the middle bit is slow, it's still a perfect movie. And the fact it's like weird and people don't get it, I'm like, but it's still a perfect movie. Just ignore the weird stuff and study the plot.
Um, I don't think the middle is slow. I love this movie a lot, and it's a great pick. I guess I just didn't think about it enough to put it there because that should definitely be even an also rant on here. But
You know,
maybe
to
I
have
just
to be a comedian and win best original screenplay, and have your movie movie be nominated for Best Picture, that is an achievement, like you said.
Yeah, and he was the first black man to win Best Original Screenplay Oscar.
Why didn't John Singleton win for Boys in the Hood?
They Oscar's so white. I mean, it's what they said. No,
That's
this
about skin color. It's about talent.
I completely am with you. Yeah, that's a great. Jordan Peele deserves to be on a lot of directorial debut lists because he's phenomenal. I noticed that you like uh, writer directors because these are all writer directors. Who's your single? Yeah, who's your number four?
Amos Perez, Inarita didn't write the script, he just directed it.
Yeah, so four out of your five are all writers directors.
Well, if you can write and direct your own movie, you share more your artistic credit.
Yeah, totally.
You ready for my honourable mentions?
Yeah, let's hear them.
In Bruges, I love In Bruges.
Who directed that?
Martin McDonnell, who directed Three Billboards. Sendaki, New York, directed by Charlie Kaufman, who is one of the greatest film writers of all time, in his debut film just missed this list. Paul Thomas Anderson's Hard Eight, I think that's an impressive debut movie, quite underrated. Sam Mendes' American Beauty, that won him his directorial best director. I think he was one of the first directors to win an Oscar for their directorial movie. Wish that made the top five. Terrence Malick, Badlands. He's a very great director, and his first film is Legend. And because I'm Yentl, because I thought Barbara Streisand did a good job directing, acting, and singing in a movie.
Definitely. Any more?
That's it for now, as much as I can think of.
All right. Here we go. Tim Burton, because he did Pee Wee's Big Adventure, I loved a lot. Jeremiah Chekin, he did Christmas Vacation. I mean, it's one of my favorite comedies of all time, and that's your first movie. That's a great directorial debut. Wes Anderson, Bottle Rocket, I love a lot. Melina Matsoukas for Queen and Slim, I thought was a great directorial debut. Let's not forget Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird.
I forgot about Lady Bird.
Yes. Damien Chazelle, Whiplash.
That's not his directorial debut. His directorial's Guy Madeline on a park bench.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. It's an Oscar, Shane Black for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. F. Gary Gray for Friday. Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born.
Nice.
Pete Docter for Inside Out, and Ari Aster, Hereditary.
Pete Docter's directorial debut was Monsters Inc.
I meant Monsters Inc. Yeah, Monsters Inc.
Nice.
Which I thought was going to be on your list for sure.
No. This is the thing. We need to do more stuff on animated films as well one day.
Yeah, I love animated film.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to rank down the best animated film award features.
Animated Film Award features?
Yeah, like the Oscar winners of best animated film.
There's only like 17, I guess. Don't have a lot to choose from, but yeah, we can definitely do it.
We might have to do that one in like 3 episodes.
Well, yeah. What are we doing the next time around?
The next time I'm going to try and invite Cody House on and we'll do Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh yeah, and then we're also doing. We're gonna count down the top 6 horror nominated Best Picture winners or Best Picture nominated movies.
Yep, we'll do that as well.
And yeah, sounds good.
And in the future, we need to do the 80s and 70s Best Picture winners as well.
Yeah, which I just still have to get going on watching
I
them.
need
But
to. I need to on the 80s, 70s of it. I still just need to see the Sting.
sweet. All right, well, let's run them down. What's your number? Or my number 5 was Regina King and One Night in Miami.
My number 5 is Quentin Tarantino with Reservoir Dogs.
My number 4 is Robert Rodriguez and El Mariachi.
My number 4 is Alejandro Inarritu with Amos Perros.
My number 3 is Emile Ardolino with Dirty Dancing.
My number 3 is Emerald Fennell with Promising Young Woman.
My number 2 is the Farrelly Brothers and Dumb and Dumber.
My number 2 is the late great John Singleton with Boys in the Hood.
And my number 1 is Kevin Costner and Dancing with Wolves. I was going to say Dirty Dancing with Wolves. Sorry.
And my number 1 is the funny as hell Jordan Peele with Get Out.
Oh, awesome. That is fantastic. Great. Sweet. I wanted to see about adding a new segment onto the show. Maybe we can debut it here. Any sort of recommendations that you've seen this past week that you want to let people know about that you may have enjoyed?
Well, obviously I watched that one for your podcast, Midnight Garden one, but I recently obtained Another Round on DVD. Highly
Great
recommend this
recommendation.
movie. Highly recommend this. It's out on DVD. Go out, buy it. It's only a tenner. Buy it, watch it, and let me know what you think to it. And let me know in the comments down below your favourite directorial debuts. And like and share this video and show this to your mum, your dad, and your mates.
Yes, and anybody who loves directors too, like show it to them, because this is right up their alley. I bet they have some crossover, but there's so many. I bet they don't.
Yes. Awesome. And yeah, so I'll see you next time for Paul Thomas Anderson films.
Until then.
Alright, bye Justin.
Bye, Rob.